Do that?
It's not a bad system. It's a public courthouse. If you guys don't know how to use it for your benefit, that's not my problem.
This edition of the Ridley Report is brought to you by LRN.FM. Feds don't want you to hear them.
By the way, I appreciate you facing these difficult questions, which none of them you were, I haven't sent them to you in advance, so you're taking them all off the cuff, and I appreciate that. But one that I do have is, I guess I saw on one of your shows, it looked like you were indicating that when you go to a new town, you will often go to a courthouse, and you will put in some paperwork to kind of establish a track record for the kind of paperwork that you give them, so that it's not completely new. And you will pay, but you have to pay the court to do that, if I understand correctly. Is that right?
They provide a service. I believe everybody's worth being paid for providing a service. It's a public courthouse. It's like a venue. It's like a dance venue, a dance hall. If I want to have a polka party there for a wedding, or if I want to have a formal dance to rent out the community's venue, should I have to pay to bring my courtiers into this public venue? Absolutely. Well, people are just going to take advantage of that situation, and they're going to want to hold court 24 hours, 7 days a week, 365. So a nominal fee to access this public venue, I think is fair and just.
I see. You don't have any concerns about the fact that you're kind of, at least slightly, underwriting this bad system when you do that?
It's not a bad system. It's a public courthouse. The only thing that you people are failing to understand is 100% of the time, the Crown, the United States is the Bar Association is monopolizing this public building. It's just like if you had a public library and the lawyers decided to take up every single chair in the public library from 8 o'clock in the morning till 5 o'clock at night. Whose fault is that? Mm-hmm. They're occupying it, they're going to access it, and they're going to use it to their benefit. If you folks don't know how to occupy it, if you guys don't know how to use it for your benefit, that's not my problem.
Back to the video question. I mean, I realize not everybody's going to ask permission to bring a camera in when they're doing stuff in court, but do you think there would be something that would have gotten out by now? Some video of someone succeeding with these kinds of theories in court? And I've never seen one. I've seen it tried a few times unsuccessfully.
Like I said, all I do is these are public court cases that I do. All you have to do is read the rulings that the cases were discharged, or like the folks up in Canada, they got their kids back, but I just wrote 2 sentences for them, and they got all 4 of their children back. This is the 1-year anniversary. They call me Uncle Carl. They just sent me a whole bunch of Christmas presents, and I just went to visit them for the 1-year anniversary. So how much video do you need to prove that this stuff works? You say 2 sentences. The next day, the Crown came. The lady just said, "I was robbed of property. I require of you to restore property." That's all she said. The judge said, "Wait, we got 20 witnesses and 20 affidavits. Every child has their own attorney. Everybody had their own guardian ad litem. Everybody has their own foster care provider. You telling me that we shouldn't take into consideration what's in the best interest of the child?" And she said, "I require you to restore my property, and I don't care why the robber robbed me. I was robbed of property." And the whole thing was 2 sentences long. And the judge said, and the last thing the lady said was, "I require you to restore my property. I mean now." And then the judge just said, "Court will be in recess." They went out into the lobby until about 5 o'clock. They said, "Go home." At 8:30, they said, "Come back at 8:30 tomorrow morning." The Crown met them in Queens Bench lobby in New Brunswick. They brought my piece of paper. It's 2 sentences long. Said, "Who wrote this?" And she said, "She did." It's like, okay, technically, who wrote it? It's like, yes, I can see it's a woman's handwriting, but who wrote this? Because everything I tell people to do, put it in writing. Don't use a machine to write the word of man.
No, can't do that.
Federal agents on the streets of Keene, New Hampshire. They're investigating reports of an unlicensed radio station said to be broadcasting LRN.FM. So why all the fuss? What is LRN.FM? Well, it's probably not something these agents want you to listen to. It's a 24-hour news talk broadcast, all pro-liberty. A true authoritarian-free zone. Tune in at LRN.FM to listen or broadcast their signal. LRN.FM. Feds don't want you to hear them.